Buenos dias to all my amigos out there. We are studying the course of Milagros, I think is how you say it in Espanol. I don't know. I'll be speaking English from this point forward, so don't worry. We're here studying the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and today we're going to be studying lesson number 126. And my friends, I have to tell you, I was going through some interesting turns and churns in my mind yesterday and in my heart, trying to work through some aspects of dealing with dishonesty. And more has come to me this morning in the meditation with this lesson that we're about to go into. But the first thought that I had this morning was, I'm going to cut my toenails today. So that shows you the level of stress that I'm at, like freaking zero, okay? So I was able to let go of a lot. And this morning, a new piece of information came into my mind while I was doing the meditation with this lesson that kind of further reinforced that I was correct in my vision of what the actual goings on of this person who lied to me yesterday morning. So I think this whole thing may have been an opportunity for me to know that my psychic and telepathic abilities are really coming into place and becoming intact in my being. So maybe it had nothing to do with, getting my feelings hurt because someone lied to me. It was that I actually had a vision of what was happening and it was correct. So anyway, beyond that, I hope you all are getting your psychic apparatus worked on and under maintenance so that it can help you in your life as well. Because I feel like what we're doing with these lessons, in addition to learning how to use forgiveness and just, learning about how we've been sort of trained in this way that the ego has been in charge, and now we're sort of surrendering into letting God and all of the principles that we're learning in the course move us through our lives and give us the strength and the courage to be our authentic true selves, which is an innocent, pure, sinless, loving being. I hope all of that is coming into play for you in your life as you're going through these lessons. And if it's not, keep studying. I don't think it means you have to do the lessons over and over and over again, but read the text and watch some videos of other Course in Miracles teachers and start to really unpack your own mind. Because all we do is we block our stuff. We block the love. We block our own realization that there are deep, paradoxical wounds that we have where we are playing out the same thing that we're judging constantly. So hopefully you're finding that in yourself and you're becoming psychic and that you cut your toenails too. Okay, so let's get into this. Lesson 126. All that I give is given to myself. Today's idea, completely alien to the ego and the thinking of the world, is crucial to the thought reversal that this course will bring about. If you believed this statement, there would be no problem in complete forgiveness, certainty of goal, and sure direction. You would understand the means by which salvation comes to you and would not hesitate to use it now. Let us consider what you do believe in place of this idea. It seems to you that other people are apart from you and able to behave in ways which have no bearing on your thoughts, nor yours on theirs. Therefore, your attitudes have no effect on them, and their appeals for help are not in any way related to your own. You further think that they can sin without affecting your perception of yourself, while you can judge their sin and yet remain apart from condemnation and at peace. Now, when I read this paragraph this morning, that's when I started to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm judging this person for lying to me, and yet I searched and searched and searched in my mind, and I said, oh, I have withheld information about this with that person. So it's so interesting how the course just brings the mirror right up to your face. So that this paragraph I literally was laughing out loud. That second paragraph. So read that again. If you're pointing the finger at someone and not pointing it at yourself, read this paragraph like 6 times. When you forgive a sin, There is no gain to you directly. You give charity to one unworthy merely to point out that you are better, on a higher plane than he whom you forgive. He has not earned your charitable tolerance, which you bestow on one unworthy of the gift, because his sins have lowered him beneath a true equality with you. He has no claim on your forgiveness. It holds out a gift to him, but hardly to yourself. And there again is that high horse that we put ourselves on, especially when we start to wake up to the truth about things and we look down on people like, oh gosh, it's so sad that they don't know this. And wow, geez, look how the decisions they're making with their lives is so bad for them. Oh, you got to be really careful with your level of humility and knowing that you're seeing a version of yourself always. So be careful with that. I'm being on a high horse. It's not the end of the world, but as soon as you're up there, you have to notice, am I up here in a place of leadership and being a role model, or am I up here because I'm high enough to look down on everyone? That will straighten you out. Thus is forgiveness basically unsound, a charitable whim, benevolent yet undeserved, a gift bestowed at times, at other times withheld. Yeah, sometimes you forgive, sometimes you're like, I won't forgive that one. Unmerited, withholding it just, nor is it fair that you should suffer when it is withheld. The sin that you forgive is not your own. That's what we tell ourselves. Someone apart from you committed it. And if you then are gracious unto him by giving him what he does not deserve, the gift is no more yours than was his sin. So you see all of that. We make those quick decisions in our mind. It's the ego thought system, of course, but it's like we decide to forgive or not to forgive, to move into this person in a space of more loving connection, or to pull back and literally treat them differently so that they don't move toward you. We do all of that instantaneously in our minds without realizing we're just playing out our own misunderstanding of what this lifetime is supposed to be all about. And it's a huge waste of energy. If this be true, forgiveness has no grounds on which to rest dependably and sure. It is an eccentricity in which you sometimes choose to give indulgently an undeserved reprieve, yet it remains your right to let the sinner not escape the justified repayment for his sin. Think you the Lord of heaven would allow the world's salvation to depend on this? Would not his care for you be small indeed, if your salvation rested on a whim? You do not understand forgiveness. As you see it, it is but a check upon overt attack, without requiring correction in your mind. So when you identify the wrongdoing in others, you have to correct your mind as well. And that's what I'm learning between today and yesterday. It's so not about me projecting and distancing all that yuckiness on others. I have to correct my mind as well as soon as I identify it. Now that may not rectify the situation at hand, but that's me doing my due diligence when I realize I'm pissed about something and I have to correct my own mind. It's work that we're not trained to do in our culture. So I think that's brilliant. All right. It cannot give you peace as you perceive it. It is not a means for your release from what you see in someone other than yourself. It has no power to restore your unity with him to your awareness. It is not what God intended it to be for you. Not having given him the gift he asks of you, you cannot recognize his gifts and think he has not given them to you. Yet would he ask you for a gift unless it was for you? Could he be satisfied with empty gestures and evaluate such petty gifts as worthy of his son? Salvation is a better gift than this, and true forgiveness, as the means by which it is attained, must heal the mind that gives, for giving is receiving. What remains as unreceived has not been given, but what has been given must have been received. So in this instance, when I'm talking about someone being dishonest with me and having all these issues with it, am I giving honesty? I have to look at that. I have to ask myself, how can I in kind bring this resolution about. Am I giving honesty? Because if I think I'm receiving dishonesty, am I giving dishonesty? I don't know. It feels deep, because my upfront answer is no. I'm not. But am I? And that's something I need to do off camera, I suppose. Today we try to understand the truth that giver and receiver are the same. You will need help to make this meaningful, as I just said, because it is so alien to the thoughts to which you are accustomed. But the help you need is there. Give him your faith today and ask him that he share your practicing in truth today. And if you only catch a tiny glimpse of the release that lies in the idea we practice for today, this is a day of glory for the world. Give 15 minutes twice today to the attempt to understand today's idea. It is the thought by which forgiveness takes its proper place in your priorities. It is the thought that will release your mind from every bar to what forgiveness means and let you realize its worth to you. Value. We're going to value forgiveness after today's lesson. In silence, close your eyes upon the world that does not understand forgiveness and seek sanctuary in the quiet place where thoughts are changed and false beliefs laid by. Repeat today's idea and ask for help in understanding what it really means. Be willing to be taught. Be glad to hear the voice of truth and healing speak to you. And you will understand the words he speaks and recognize he speaks your words to you. As often as you can, remind yourself you have a goal today, an aim which makes this day of special value to yourself and all your brothers. Do not let your mind forget this goal for long, but tell yourself, all that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in him. Then spend a quiet moment opening your mind to his correction and his love. And what you hear of him, you will believe, for what he gives will be received by you. So there you have it. All that you give is given unto you. Today we get to really learn about forgiveness. And I tell you, I was 5 minutes into the meditation this morning, and I started to receive these downloads that seemed like it had more to do with a gift that is being developed by my higher self for me to use than anything else. But I can't completely avoid this whole someone lied to me thing and dealing with this dishonesty. Am I giving dishonesty? But I also think I was given insight on the telepathy that we're all capable of, and the clearness and pureness of these visions that I'm given sometimes. So I think I'm being asked to trust myself and believe in that a little, and lean into it. Maybe rely on it more. It seems to happen just kind of randomly, like I'm not seeking it out or directing it myself. At least not in my conscious awakened state. It doesn't seem like that. So yeah, that's what I have for you today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Enjoy your lesson. Knock out these couple of meditations when you have a chance, and open yourself up to the help. We weren't raised in this society, in this made up thing, right? We weren't raised to think this way, that giving is receiving, and that what you give is actually being given to yourself. And even the fact that forgiveness, our definition of forgiveness in the regular world out here, is totally inverted and very selfish and not loving. So let's at least change that with today's lesson, and in your meditations, ask for help about that and see where it takes you. Lots of love to you. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you back here again on the next video.